but I just gotta come say, this is wrong.
Jennifer Hudson is being called out by Katt Williams for allegedly sacrificing her family for fame, but that's allegedly not even the craziest thing she did. This whole story is honestly insane, so let's get straight into it. Katt Williams has been busy exposing the secrets of people in Hollywood for the past few months. Now it seems that his latest victim is Jennifer Hudson. According to him, there are so many celebrities who didn't get to where they are today because of their talent or hard work. No, they had to sacrifice something very important to them in exchange for fame. And a lot of people suspect one of those people to be Jennifer because of how quickly she became famous and the tragedy that happened to her just before she hit her peak. On October 24th, 2008, Jennifer received a call and she was told that her mother, Darnell Donnerson, and her brother, Jason Hudson, had tragically passed away. But this wasn't where the bad news ended. After the police found Jennifer's mother and brother, it became obvious that someone in their family was missing, and that person was her nephew, who was supposed to be with her mother and brother at the time of their passing. At first, the police had two theories. The first was that whoever committed the crime had also kidnapped her nephew in the hopes of getting some ransom from Jennifer. And the second was that he just disappeared. But 3 days later, they found out that neither of those options was correct. Unfortunately, just like Jennifer's mother and brother, her nephew Julian had also lost his life. His body was found in the backseat of an SUV parked on the west side of Chicago. And from the looks of everything, it was pretty obvious that he had lost his life the same way that Jennifer's mother and brothers had lost theirs. Next to the SUV where Julian was found, the police found a firearm, which they suspected was what was used to commit this horrible crime on Jennifer's mother, brother, and nephew. Fortunately, it didn't take long for the police to take their first suspect into custody. That person was none other than the estranged husband of Jennifer's sister, Julia, named William Balfour. Prosecutors believe that William took Darnell, Jason, and Julian's lives because of an argument that he had with Julia about another man. William's attorney claimed that the police targeted him for the crime because they were under pressure to solve the case quickly. However, by the time the witness testimonials and the police evidence came in, it was hard to believe that William wasn't guilty of the crime. First, there was Brittany Arkoff Howard, who testified against William, saying that he'd asked her to cover for him on the very day that the crime happened, knowing fully well that he wasn't with her. Jennifer and her sister Julia also testified against William during the court case. When it was time for the Illinois State Police to provide their evidence analyst told the jurors that even though William's DNA didn't match the one found on the weapon and the crime scene, he had firearm shot residue on the steering wheel of his car. Another analyst even went as far as to state that even though William's DNA wasn't found on the weapon used to commit the crimes, that didn't mean that he never handled the firearm. According to him, some people shed skin cells faster, and William could have easily worn gloves to prevent any evidence that could be used against him. After everything was said and done, the jury found William guilty. So he was sentenced to 3 consecutive life sentences behind bars with no possibility of parole. However, he maintained his innocence until the very end, claiming that he wasn't the person who committed the crimes and that he was being framed by someone else, but he never said who. Now, some people believe that Jennifer knew exactly what he was talking about because allegedly she was in on the whole thing. After she came out in 2020 to say that she had forgiven William for taking the lives of her mother, brother, and nephew, she had a lot of looks thrown her way. Many people couldn't understand how she could forgive someone who took the lives of not only one, but 3 of her family members. This started an entire conspiracy theory about how Jennifer may have sacrificed her family for fame, and that would explain how she got famous as fast as she did. After all, most of her major growth started to happen right around the time the crimes against her family were committed. According to one conspiracy theory, Jennifer joined the Illuminati, a secret cult that supposedly controls the entertainment industry and picks the people who become famous and the people who don't. And if you get picked, you have to sacrifice something dear to you, like the life of a loved one. Allegedly, Jennifer chose to sacrifice 3, which would explain why her rise to fame was much faster than others. For some context, after the passing of Jennifer's mother, brother, and nephew, she took some time away from the public eye to grieve her family and come to terms with the new life that she was forced to lead without them. Then she made her return in one of the biggest ways possible by serenading everyone with her emotional performance of the national anthem at the 2009 Super Bowl. Then there was the release of her self-titled album, which was also her debut studio album. This album was met with much more success than it was met with hate, and at the end of the day, it earned her a Grammy for the Best R&B Album of the Year. Her second Grammy came out in 2017 when she won the Best Musical Theater Album as a cast member of The Color Color Purple revival. And her singing career wasn't the only thing that went through the roof. Her acting career also did the same. She even won herself an Oscar for her role as Effie White in Dreamgirls. Then in 2021, she won a Daytime Emmy as an executive producer for Baba Yaga. And in 2023, she won a Tony as a co-producer for A Strange Loop, which won Best Musical, cementing herself as the 17th person in history to ever win an EGOT. Jennifer also found a lot of success on live TV, being part of the judging panel for The Voice US and UK. And in 2021, she portrayed the legendary Aretha Franklin in the biopic Respect. Now she hosts her own talk show, The Jennifer Hudson Show, which premiered in September 2022. The show currently has over 350 episodes and counting, and it's only going to get bigger and better. Only a handful of celebrities have been able to achieve all that Jennifer has achieved, and the figure gets even smaller when you consider the amount of time she achieved it all in. I know all of these are just rumors and theories, but you have to wonder, what if there's actually some truth to it? Did Jennifer really sacrifice her family to get the fame she has now? And if she did, was it really worth it? What do you guys think about all this? Is this all just an insane theory? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below.